folks, welcome back to another informational video with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Firefly the game Blue Sun Rim Space expansion set. Long name for an expansion, but I'm going to show you everything that you get in this little guy, and basically how it affects gameplay from a couple of different perspectives. Not a whole lot, just basically gives you a lot more to use with your base game. So let's get down to the table. So here's everything that you're going to be getting in the Blue Sun Rim Space expansion set. Now this is actually, if I'm correct, this is actually the first big box expansion that came out for Firefly the game, so I am a little bit behind on getting this looked at. So I apologize for that, but at the same time, I think it's important to, for future consideration for people who are picking up the game, to have this at their disposal as far as information is concerned. So first of all, you're going to be getting this little board expansion here. I'll just separate it a little bit, and it goes off to the left-hand side of the base board, which is what this is over here. This is the base board, and this is the expansion board that comes in, and it comes with Reaver Space, Miranda is over here, and then the Blue Sun area with Meridian over here. It also comes with new, well, what would have been new at this point in time when it was released, a new Rim Space deck where you are, whenever you're traveling in the red outlined areas here, and you do a full burn, you have to draw one of these cards, and it has anything like, just like with the Alliance and the Border Space decks, it says keep flying, or it can go in here and you have to do some type of situation that has occurred or something to that effect. You can also run into Reavers in orbit, Reavers on the hunt. So there's a number of different things that can happen within this deck, and you're probably familiar with it if you are a Firefly player, but if not, that is something new that was not in the base game. The base game only came with an Alliance navigation deck and a Border navigation deck. Now, speaking of the Border navigation deck, it does come with some cards that replace cards that come in the original deck, and these 10 cards replace 10 cards that are in the deck. I believe it's one Reaver Cutter, one Reaver Bait, and then the rest are Reavers on the Hunt, but you do have these Reavers dead ahead where they can actually show up in a sector that is adjacent to your current location. So that's all nastiness as well, but these cards replace 10 cards that are already in your base game deck. Also comes with 2 leaders here, Murphy, who is especially good at trading and that type of thing, and then Atherton, which makes misbehaving a little bit easier in the beginning of the game because of his code words here, fancies, duds, and fake IDs. It also comes with 5 new job cards for each of the original 5 decks. And then it also comes with 2 brand new decks, Mr. Universe and Lord Harrow. Also comes with 2 goal or warrant issued tokens. I'm sorry, 4 of them. They're double-sided. And then it also comes with Haven tokens, which at the beginning of the game, depending on what the story card that you're using says, sometimes players are going to be able to choose a planetary system or a planetary space to be their haven, and which means that there's some story cards that will be like an in-game condition. For example, here in the any port in a storm, you're going to be wanting to reach your haven with at least 12,000 credits to win the game. So there are different story cards that use these haven tokens, so they're given to you. Some more disgruntled tokens here, and then you also have these double-sided Alliance contact or Reaver contact tokens. And the way these work is that whenever a Reaver leaves a space, he's going to drop or leave behind a Reaver token. And whenever somebody flies into that space, they're going to have to roll a die. It's the first thing they do, more often than not. They're going to have to roll a die, and if they get equal to or less than the number of tokens that are represented in that space, then the person to their right has to take a Reaver ship and take it to that space, and then you would carry out a Reaver encounter as normal. And if it is in an alliance sector like so, well, then you're going to have a confrontation or an encounter with the alliance ship as well. Now, the two job decks that come, Lord Harrow is, pretty much the same as all. He has illegal and legal jobs that are in here. Some of them, however, start in the Ouroboros belt, which is right here. These 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces that are around Meridian, the Blue Sun. And if a job says that you have to start in the Ouroboros belt, it can be in any one of these 4 spaces. So to start a job in the Ouroboros belt, you just have to be in one of these 4 spaces. It doesn't have to be a specific one, unless, of course, it says Dragon's Egg or Deadwood or something to that effect. The Mr. Universe deck is a little bit of a different thing. When you accept a job from him, it's going to be a challenge that gets added to one of your other jobs, and it will give you an extra reward if you accomplish that job with finishing all of its requirements plus the ones that are here. It says additional terms: fight prohibited, do not add fight skill points to the skill tests for this job. So if you can beat that job without using any fight skills, then you will also accomplish this goal here, and you get that extra reward, plus you would be then square with Mr. Universe, which would give you a +2 hand size. You'll notice now that there are 3 Reaver ships instead of just 1. 1 came in the base game, and then this expansion adds 2 more. So there are going to be a greater threat from the Reavers on the board because you just simply have more of them moving around. Plus, with the alert tokens, there's a higher chance that you're going to run into them from time to time. It also comes with these new, the 3 new story cards, and then 2 new setup cards, one for standard game setup, and then there's also one that says awful crowded in my sky. So basically it says place the reshuffle cards in the nav decks at the start of the game regardless of the number of players. So normally you would only use them for certain player counts, but if you're using this setup, you add them in anyway. Choosing ships and leaders is standard, as we go back to this one, where we roll the die and all that kind of stuff, and you choose an order. And then Alliance and Reaver ships are placed out, and this is a different thing. In addition to the ships being placed in their specific locations, you're also going to place alert tokens in every planetary sector. Alliance tokens in Alliance space, Reavers and Reaver alert tokens in border and rim space. And then you don't place alert tokens on starting locations. Alliance ship movement does not generate new alert tokens. However, Reaver ship movement generates new tokens as per Blue Sun's rules. And then you place the Alliance and Reaver ships normally. And then the goal of the game and the starting supplies all go to their standard issues, where you have to choose a story card, and then this where you get 3,000 credits, 6 fuel, 2 parts. And then starting jobs, this is something new. It says each player receives a job card from Harkin, Amandul, and Patience, and then you can discard any of the starting jobs. And then priming the pump goes back to here, where you reveal the top 3 cards of each supply deck, and then reveal cards go in their discard piles. So this is again, another way for you to kind of spice up your game. This gives you more goals to look forward to, and so forth and so on. Changes how the game is played, in that the goal that you're reaching for is different, so how you're going to go about getting it is also going to be different as well. And then finally, the last thing that really changes the game is that when you play with the Blue Sun expansion, Meridian has its credit exchange, and which means that players can exchange credits wherever they want. They don't have to be in the same place like you do in the base game. But if you're wanting to exchange trade goods, crew, gear, or ship upgrades, you do have to be in the same location. It's just the credits that can exchange hands from wherever you are in the verse. So let's get to my final thoughts. So that is the Blue Sun expansion for Firefly the game. As you can see, you simply get a whole lot more new stuff. 2 new contact decks, a few more story cards, a few more setup cards, more contact cards for the original 5 contact decks, more tokens for alert, more alert tokens. Now, the Reavers, man, did they really step up their presence here with the Blue Sun expansion. You don't have to worry about just one. Now you have 3 of those bad guys flying around. So you have to be very careful about how you fly, where you fly, and all that good stuff. Not only that, they're dropping off those alert tokens everywhere you go. So there's a bigger chance that you're going to run into those bad guys more often than not. Well, maybe more often than not. It depends on how you roll. If you roll dice badly, then yes, you're going to be facing them a little bit more often than normal. But even then, you can be very decisive on where you go and how you go there, because you can try to stick to where the places that the Reavers have not been as much as before. So in the beginning of the game, it probably going to feel a little normal, but as those Reavers move around a little bit more, you'll start to feel the pinch. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that this expansion does what I want an expansion to do, and that is simply give me nuances of change, not core changes or anything like that, where the way you play the game is completely different than the way I used to play it. Give me changes here and changes there, but leave my core mechanisms and all that kind of stuff, leave those things alone. And that's pretty much what Blue Sun does. It gives you more stuff. It makes it a little bit more harder with dealing with the Reavers and the Alliance, but at the same time, it gives you more contacts. It gives you the opportunity with Mr. Universe, the contact deck for Mr. Universe. It gives you the ability to make more money on some of those jobs that you are choosing to do, which will in turn make the game slightly shorter. I mean, most of the time, at least in games that I've played, you're trying to get a number of credits and get back to somewhere to end the game. And so when you have more opportunity to make more credits throughout the game, that's going to make the game just slightly shorter. I'm not going to say it's making a big deal, but it'll make it slightly shorter. The component quality is all very good, what you should expect coming from this company, Gale Force 9, and other products for this game. I did notice that the Reaver ships that come in this expansion are just slightly different, a different color. This one's a little bit of a lighter red but it doesn't really matter. But I wanted to bring it up just for posterity's sake, so that there is slightly a difference, but they're Reavers, it doesn't really matter. You might even paint your ships, so it means even less at that point. But I just wanted to mention it just because. So that is it for everything that you get in the Blue Sun Rim Space expansion set for Firefly the game. I hope you guys can now take this information and make a better informed purchase, if I may say so. And that is that from me. We'll see you on the flip side.